A fully animated, official Super Mario Bros. Movie is on the way. It's been over a month since the trailer dropped, and I'm very ecstatic for April 2023 to come for them. But the fact it's a movie about Super Mario is making me wonder details and structure around the plot, as well as the writing for the film. Like, this is the same series where a majority of games and mainline entries see Bowser kidnap Princess Peach, and Mario's forced to platform through various worlds and locations to save her, with little to no substance or layers in between that for a story. You have the RPGs and spin-offs like Mario and Luigi, Paper Mario, Mario plus Rabbids, and a few others that provide more character, writing depth, and personality to the plot, characters, and setting involved. But not only can that not be said for most mainline Mario games beyond Super Mario Galaxy or Odyssey, the vast majority of that extra character exploration or round character showcasing isn't really towards Mario himself. It's usually to side characters like Vivian from Thousand Year Door, or Fawful from Mario and Luigi, or even other main Mario characters like Luigi, Bowser, Rosalina, Peach even, and such. Mario himself? Not really. So us entering a seemingly entertaining Mario film after many years from the last attempt, not really encapsulating what Mario or his games are like and about, is refreshing and cool, but it provides the question to what their angle is as far as approaching Mario's character and personality in the film, as well as the overall plot and other details and facets some of the games either do or don't really explore. So after quite some time sitting on the trailer's existence for a couple weeks now, I want to discuss with you all some thoughts and predictions I have towards the upcoming Mario movie and analyze what there is to analyze, even when we only have one 2-minute trailer in doing so. Not just plot synopsis details and Mario's character, but also specific story beats and how other characters may be written as well. I'm a huge Mario fan, so you know I have at least a couple of ideas for how this movie will go. And even if this movie doesn't go my way with any of these ideas, as long as the movie ends up being good, that's all I need to be a happy camper. So like I said earlier, the most curious aspect I have towards this film is how they're going to handle Mario's character. Mario's a jolly, happy-go-lucky, positive character in like every game he's in. That's true, but that never gave way to a round character or predated Mario having any complex or deeper personality beyond that. He's amassed plenty of fans and love just from him being this jovial person, having this jovial demeanor, sure, upon dozens of other factors when talking about him in any context, but Mario's always portrayed as a very static character with a flat character arc almost every time they allow an extra layer of storytelling or narrative in any way in a Mario game. A static character is a type of character that remains largely the same over the course of the story. The character's environment may change, but their personality and outlook is the exact same at the end of the story as it was at the beginning. And a flat character arc is used for a protagonist that is aware of the truth about themselves from the start, meaning there isn't an arc of them finding themselves in a better or worse predicament. They affect those around them more than themselves throughout the story. Goku from Dragon Ball, or even Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece are great examples of static characters done well, protagonists with flat character arcs, and flat character arcs done well. There is a point in One Piece Luffy's ideals and strengths come into question when he's at his lowest point in the series. I'm not going to say when for those who haven't seen or read it, but the vast majority of the time otherwise, he does portray both static characters and a flat character arc consistently throughout One Piece anyways. And at the very least, Goku is a much better example for both. Point is, in my opinion, either character serves as examples in me emphasizing static characters and flat character arcs, both of which I strongly feel Mario encapsulates well too. Mario's a guy who believes in justice, a sense of fun and whimsy in adventure, and fighting for the right cause, saving the princess, exploring vast new realms, worlds and galaxies, discovering new places, saving worlds, universes, multiverses, etc. It's like any hero or supportive / nice character, he has traits and qualities of any good human being. His games largely focus on gameplay and platforming significantly more than what Mario as a character is trying to explore. Mario's long-standing heroism, courage, consistent problem solving, platforming escapades, and feats, as well as any notable feats in that or the people he strikes down, Bowser, Grotus, Rockhawk, Shadow Queen, Count Black, Super Dimencio, etc., or even just the sheer fact he's treated like a celebrity in his own world. Some people look up to him and ask him for help in various ways. and things he does. He has significant effects and influences on Luigi, Bowser, Peach, his party members from Paper Mario 64, Thousand Year Door, Fawful, various Toads, Townsfolk in Rogueport, the Bean Bean Kingdom, etc., Goombas, Koopa Troopas. He has had and will continue to have a major effect on everyone around him. But that has the long-standing effect from the fact he's been doing this shtick for over 37 years now. And the one key note with this movie is as Mario's sent to the Mushroom Kingdom talking about some, what is this place? And Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. It obviously signifies... Wait, that was a little bit of a voice crack when I said that. Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. It's obviously signifying this is Mario's first trip into the Mushroom Kingdom. Between that, the fact the movie's obviously called the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and there are characters like Cranky Kong and Spike from Wrecking Crew in the film, this movie's leaning more into exploring Mario's origin before the events and leading straight into Super Mario Bros. So, I'm very inclined to believe this movie will actually give Mario a more dynamic character and or around character arc. Flat characters affect the people around them as they themselves undergo minimal to no changes in the story, but round characters are characters that are layered and or complex, often overlapping with dynamic characters. Dynamic characters being characters that undergo considerable to very significant internal changes that affect their character and philosophy throughout the story. Spider-Man, Dragon Ball's Vegeta, Gurren Lagann Simone, or Rosalina with her backstory, just to name a few examples. I'm willing to believe this movie is going to give Mario some form of actual development and progression to the Mario we've all known for years. Mario will still likely affect his surroundings, but I'm predicting we'll see more of what Mario's actually like. This movie will likely explore the events of the arcade game Donkey Kong, Mario going through construction sites to save Pauline from Donkey Kong, that specific Donkey Kong being Cranky Kong in modern Mario and Donkey Kong games, the other Donkey Kong in most country and Mario games being Donkey Kong Jr., and Wrecking Crew is a game where Mario did also take up construction as a job, and Spike was his boss. I'm willing to believe this first act of the movie will portray and adapt these games and events, dip into the everyman description Mario fits, and conclude that first act at the point to where he's content the most with being the famous Mushroom Kingdom adventurer. Mario's a guy who's good at plumbing, kart racing, baseball, soccer, golf, tennis, dancing, refereeing, throwing parties, being a doctor, etc. He's good at a lot of things. But the movie exploring him trying all these different professions and jobs taps and connects into all the numerous spin-offs and how and why Mario's a jack of all trades basically, but also exploring what Mario would want to do with his life as well. Not only that, this movie can still probably provide an entertaining time if Mario still adopts a static character, but them exploring Mario's journey of finding his life's purpose, his life's goals, or where he feels he belongs would aid to giving him a rounder character. Him being able to juggle all these different things, being skilled in a lot of them, and especially to use Luigi's cowardice and a lack of confidence as a foil for Mario, they can easily give Mario a confident and even partially brazenly egocentric personality. This cockiness, this sense of egotism or air that Mario might be full of himself or think he's hot stuff while dealing with the fact his future's a mystery before he even stumbles into the Mushroom Kingdom, and exploring a cocky, self-centered side of Mario either during the events of Donkey Kong before he either gets fired from or is done with Wrecking Crew, or during the events of the Mushroom Kingdom where Peach inevitably gets kidnapped. It tests Mario's determination and confidence in his own ability and self-worth, and I think exploring something like that for Mario can work incredibly well since this is an origin story adapting the first Super Mario game. And then as he ventures on his quest to defeat Bowser, it can serve to highlight and accentuate Mario's journey of going from this egotistical person who might think highly of himself in some way, not wholeheartedly, but in some way, right, to losing that confidence and being unsure, doubtful, wavering in his resolve and ability to save Peach and the neighboring kingdoms from Bowser, to the underdog who does save the world, Peach, giving and completing a character arc for Mario, how he gained his legacy as well as an appreciation and affinity for adventure and exploration, and how he becomes the famous hero of the Mushroom Kingdom as we know today. And between that adventure throughout the Mushroom Kingdom and the movie exploring Mario's other professions earlier on, that can also accentuate one key trait that makes video games in general, but especially Mario games, incredibly fun and memorable. It's that Mario games are iconic, replayable, and fun in that the majority of them are about overcoming failures. Every single game has that one objective, that one part of that one level as a whole, etc. Millions upon millions of Mario fans either struggled with for hours in a specific Mario game or had to deal with more than once after dying at least once, platforming over a gap, jumping on an enemy, killing a boss, finding a star coin, etc. Mario's always served as a vehicle for the player to emphasize gameplay, but one major theme all the main games share is that determination and satisfaction in overcoming failure and obstacles. What if Mario tries all of those professions and fails, and it once again tests Mario's sense of faith, self-worth, and confidence in what he's capable of, only to settle on those professions as hobbies later on? What if Mario either then or on his journey in the Mushroom Kingdom is tasked to doing multiple smaller goals to achieve this bigger goal, i.e. stop Bowser and save Peach, and it's trying to parallel that same theme of continuously trying, use as many of your lives to keep going and overcome what's in your way? Mario not giving up, not trying to doubt himself, and keep pushing forward until he achieves that goal that's right in front of him. If it's a repeated showing of Mario failing, then achieving, that would be an ingenious way to thematically match the core appeal of Mario games by making it one of the core themes of the Mario movie, making that one of the core elements of Mario's character arc in the movie, and adding a layer of depth to Mario himself, so many Mario fans and even non-Mario fans can likely enjoy and resonate with very well and appreciate. It would also make Mario a much more relatable and lovable character for the audience as a result as well, because us as humans constantly want to try and succeed at a task or a profession, regardless of how often we may fail. If we really want that goal, we keep trying and trying again, and those questions of doubt and negativity keeping you from trying again do swell up within us, as it can for Mario, but still maintaining that resolve in the face of constant doubt, failure, etc. would make Mario stand out more than he normally does, and it would definitely be something Mario and non-Mario fans would love. With this being Mario's first official major theatrical movie, giving him some form of character progression and a rounder character would be both beneficial to the project as a movie and add so much to Mario as a character and Mario lore / world building too. They might do it in some ways like I just theorized in the movie, or in a completely different way, but giving Mario some kind of character arc, a rounder and or dynamic character in some way would be very fun and cool for Mario to do for plenty of reasons, especially if done well. That was a lot for just theorizing Mario's character, but with this medium requiring narrative and a story, giving Mario a character of some sort makes sense. On the rest of the cast though, I can see it still taking place for others as well, especially since some other characters already have a round / dynamic character or established character arc in some way in at least one of the Mario games. Luigi, for example, cowardly, harbors more doubt and inferiority compared to Mario, has gone on a couple arcs here and there, a la Luigi's Mansion, and some of the Mario & Luigi games, Dream Team most notably, gaining more confidence, more determination, and above all else, his sheer adoration and love for his friends, and especially his brother. Us Mario fans, we always eat up how Luigi's got a demeanor that shows how easily scared or spooked he is by ghosts, overwhelming enemies and such, and seeing him overcome those fears and obstacles he endures himself. Character-wise, I think it's a safe assumption any kind of arc we saw Luigi go through in the games just mentioned, we're gonna get something similar in the movie, but something that'd be a little bit cooler is them also adding a layer of independence. Luigi loves Mario. They're brothers. Luigi's always looked up to and appreciated Mario, but that also plays into the theme of both Luigi feeling even just like a little bit lesser than Mario compared to him, and from the outsider's perspective of Luigi always living in Mario's shadow, being the player too. And in that last snippet in the trailer, we see Luigi run from a horde of dry bones, scary Mario enemies, but it also decently implies Mario's not going to be around Luigi for a decent chunk of the film, leading into another theory / prediction. I think Luigi and Mario are going to be separated a good chunk of the movie, and they're going to both deal with their own struggles and ordeals before the eventual final climax where they come back together. Mario will deal with trying to live up to the famous adventuring hero he'll become towards the end of the movie, but Luigi will also try to live up in a more independent, confident way that'll emphasize Luigi can get stuff done, and he's just as capable of soloing adventures and clearing obstacles just as difficult and tough as Mario can. Kinda like Tails' and Amy's arcs in Sonic Adventure. Similarly, we'll obviously see see Bowser's Conquest trot, him in Conquest mode, taking over neighboring kingdoms, steal power stars, eventually kidnap Peach, but it'll explore this comical, eccentric, and charismatic side as a villain, while still retaining this devious, sinister, and threatening aura at the same time. The trailer really gave off that vibe of being that blend between serious and intimidating, and comical and goofy, all in one, at least to me. I feel like that's when Bowser's at his best. Paper Mario, Mario Odyssey, Mario and Luigi especially, etc. Bowser's definitely a round character with a couple layers to him beyond his villainous demeanor, but them streamlining and focusing on blending the two halves for the Koopa King would make for a very entertaining Bowser, as we always see of him in most Mario games, topped off with great moments of both action and comedy from both Bowser and Kamek, which I think we all know is a given. And alongside that, someone we have yet to properly see in the film, Princess Peach. I think they're going to try and give her a slightly more fleshed out character as well. I don't know about a whole lot fleshed out, but something along the lines of why she became the ruler of the Mushroom Kingdom, more of her personality, her likes, dislikes, something akin to how both Peach and Paper Peach converse to one another in Mario and Luigi Paper Jam about changing hairstyles, or how tired they are of having to call out to Mario whenever she's in trouble. Something that kind of nudges an extra layer or two into Peach's character. There might even be a decent chance of us getting a Peach trying to escape, a Peach trying to take matters in her own hands and forge her own escape, or trying to save other neighboring kingdoms, not just her own. A Peach with her own rebellious take charge flair we almost never get from her outside those Super Mario Adventure comics, or how she was in Super Paper Mario. Mario's not the only one that can use more character and personality exploration. Peach is definitely a core character of the series that can benefit a ton, having more to her personality and traits than just serving as a damsel for Mario to save. And speaking of her position in the Mushroom Kingdom, I think there's a strong chance we're gonna get significant world building and lore expansion out of this movie. It's already kind of obvious with Spike and Cranky Kong being in the film, but I don't think it's gonna stop there. I think the movie will start, or the first act will take up a good chunk of time in New Donk City. I think instead of trying to make this real world differentiation that the Super Show did, establishing Mario's home world as the real world and separate from the Mushroom Kingdom, not only do I think they're not going to make that distinction and Mario and Luigi's original home is New Donk City, I think every single location is just all going to be a part of one massive, giant world itself. You could transport to either on foot, by car, plane, etc., or with a famous Mario example, pipes. Pipes have always been this consistent major source of travel in the Mario series. I think they're going to serve as huge ways for Mario and other characters to get to different locations and worlds all together. That's how Mario gets to the Mushroom Kingdom, as we see in the trailer, and New Donk City being one of those worlds too makes a lot of sense. Adding to that, I think we're going to get Pauline in the film. Whether it's her blonde or brunette is up in the air. I'm leaning more towards blonde, but at the most, a glorified cameo of sorts is how I can envision Pauline being in the film. And the events of Donkey Kong will make up some of that first act, and I believe we'll see a slightly different looking Mario to imply it's a past/younger version of him. To be fair, that's kind of like this whole movie, since it's adapting the very first Super Mario Bros. Game. And it'll be at least a couple years until we see him get to the Mushroom Kingdom. I think a time gap of a couple to several years would also help distinguish the amount of time the original Donkey Kong went from that to Cranky Kong, and how Donkey Kong Jr. eventually becomes the mascot Donkey Kong we're all familiar with. That's the Donkey Kong in most Mario games and country games as well. And the movie might establish how either Cranky Kong and Mario still have a bit of animosity towards each other, but Mario and DK Jr., i.e. Donkey Kong, become more friendly, are cool with each other, don't really mind each other that much. I think Mario liking DK but still not liking Cranky would be funny, and vice versa, but they can always just say they buried the hatchet leading up to those events. But I also think Donkey Kong will get a bigger role in the film than just being used to establish the branched paths Mario took from Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong doing the same for Donkey Kong Country. I think a major supporting role, or helping Mario save one of the worlds Bowser takes over, or nab one of the power stars, would be a solid role for DK. Doubled if Donkey Kong can serve as comedic relief. Triple if he's a sort of a muscle bro that's not the brightest, but has good intentions and has more than enough strength to be dependable. But at the very least, I think they're going to do more with Donkey Kong than just connect the arcade game to Super Mario Bros. You know what I mean? And the Mushroom Kingdom itself, I think they're going to go into why Peach runs the kingdom, what's her motivation, how most of Mario's world is operated by neighboring kingdoms run by other rulers, much like Mario Odyssey implies, and this movie with the Penguin King commanding his army from his castle and such, how Toads view Peach, how Toad Town is, also the main Toad likely being a solid comedic relief throughout the film, potential in neighboring kingdoms themed after desert, sky, jungle, the beach, etc. Stretching it a little bit here, but if Sarasaland or Daisy are among that desert kingdom, like there's a bunch of potential for lore expansion and world building with this Mario film, and that's really exciting. And on that matter of other types of Mario characters appearing in the film, I think that could be another good talking point. Going back to Daisy, it's possible. I think those chances are really stupidly slim of her being in this movie at all. And because this is a movie adapting the first Super Mario Bros. Largely, I think it's safe to assume we're gonna get a sequel. Ignoring leaked McDonald's toys that could imply otherwise, a sequel Mario movie adapting Super Mario World, I feel would be the most logical step from this point, and at that point, not only would Daisy's chances be better of playing a major role, but also us getting the Dinosaur Land from Mario World, Yoshi, the Koopalings, maybe Bowser Jr. too. Like some of this and other characters, I think they would largely save for sequel films. Although, here's another big one that ties into the lore / world building. I think the movie could start out with us seeing the baby Mario Brothers delivered via storks. And if Yoshi does appear in the movie in any way, I think at that point, to tie the Yoshi's Island knot would be the bare minimum way to do it. And I say bare minimum because I feel like you try to focus a lot more on Yoshi or DK a little too much. It might steer the focus away from the fact that it's a Mario movie, you know? I love Yoshi and Donkey Kong, but it's really unclear right now to say whether it add or deter some elements of the movie, you know? Yoshi being in the movie at all, it's kind of a mystery. I think if he was in the movie, they would just do it at the beginning to establish like the whole Yoshi's Island store connection. If Yoshi would have a bigger role, I feel like they would save him for like a sequel film. And the base plot, to sum it all up, again, Bowser's in conquest mode, he's trying to conquer kingdoms for himself, Mario has to defeat him. I think we're gonna get a surprising amount of action in the film as a whole, Mario actually fighting, not just jumping on enemies and such, but squaring off against Bowser, Cranky Kong and such, Luigi and Donkey Kong likely getting some similar action, either Mario getting buffed from the Power Star, or we see him utilizing a Fire Flower for strength, firepower, or both. I don't have a huge basis for this, but something tells me we might be in for more action than a lot of us might anticipate. Mario will develop his crush for Peach as well, giving him another goal. Mario and Luigi will choose to reside in the Mushroom Kingdom in the end. We'll get some post-credits scene teasing some expansion or continuation, whether the Donkey Kong spin-off, Luigi's Mansion spin-off, or a sequel Mario film. And my final prediction is both. I think the movie will become the highest grossing video game film. I completely believe it's gonna be received very well and make a bunch of money, but also our next trailer for the film will be at the Game Awards. We've gotten some movie premiere trailers there, Sonic 2 being a big one at Game Awards 2021, and I think Nintendo's going to try and market this movie as much as they possibly can, and the Game Awards would be the next big event to do so. I think we'll get a look at Peach in that trailer as well, and see more of Mario, Chris Pratt's Mario 2, and the Mushroom Kingdom in general. I think that's the most I could think of until we get more details and trailers for the movie. These are all my theories, my analysis and predictions for the Mario movie based off that first trailer. I'm still very excited for the movie. Let me know your theories, thoughts, and ideas in the comments below. Thank you very much for listening and watching, and hope you enjoy plenty more Mario content to come on this channel. Stay super.
哟，嘿，妹妹，嘿，我来呀！共和大哈哈呀！拉面，嘿，来面，来个面，共和再见呀！哈哈，拉面，叫小面，谢谢。